Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're live on the YouTube. Welcome each and every one of you from out there in the computer land. It is a brisk one here tonight in Mark Grader Stadium. We've had awesome weather all season long, and tonight it's a little bit chilly. We're getting things situated up here in the Crow's Nest. The Canton-Galva Pep Band is not here. It might freeze their mouthpiece to their horn. I'm going to step aside right quick, talk to our director. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so that, like, you can share, like, you can give them your recording, right?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, if you want to talk, like, if you want our, because it'll be high quality recording, and that way it's not through the glass, and we're more than glad to do that with you guys. Okay? That might be a whole lot
What kind of information do you need?
from just the email address. Or he can probably put it on a jump drive or whatever.
Okay, I'll go talk to
Ask him if that's okay, because that through that glass is going to be horrible.
Yeah, it is.
So,
okay, I'll go talk to
all right, thank you guys. Well, we're back here with you. We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff. What a glorious opportunity we have here as Canton-Galva welcomes the Hanover Wildcats into Mark Grader Stadium, a perennial powerhouse at this D2 8-man level. The Hanover Wildcats got off to a little bit of a slow start this year. Been on a roll here, going undefeated coming into tonight's game. I believe over their last 6 contests, 5 or 6. So sure a formidable foe. Kind of rolled through them last Friday, did Hanover. I think they actually played on Thursday. But we're going to get started here. Again, we welcome each and every one of you into our broadcast brought to you by Canton-Galva Broadcasting. Coach Kaufman and all of his crew, they do an outstanding job. We want to thank them right now for broadcasting all last weekend. High school kids were here for the 5th and 6th grade championship. Sharp Sports bringing you the 5th and 6th grade championship right here was broadcast. We want to thank those guys for volunteering their time for that. Well, we're going to step aside just a little bit as we bring to you the starting lineups and the coin toss and such, and we're going to get kicked off.
And now the defensive starters for the home team. Number 2, Kason Mastery.
Well, they already shut it off, but it's just blurry.
Number 3, Lane McManus.
We might as well just take this thing down.
It just went dark. It just
Okay.
Number 4,
we didn't turn it off. I
Vincent.
think it went to sleep. I think.
Huh?
It went to sleep.
Number 6, Garrett Maltby. Number 22, Wyatt Collins. Number 34, Nick Evans. Number 25, TJ Kane. And number 30, Ryder Nordstrom. Your Eagles are head coached by Shelby Hoppus. At this time, if you would please rise and remove cover, we are going to honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you. We just had the playing of the national anthem. We are toasty up here in the Crow's Nest. It's been a little bit hectic up here as it's dark. Not used to getting kicked off in the dark up here. We've got a few extras, a radio crew over there trying to get everybody situated, so we apologize right up front for not being with you in the pregame. Well, welcome into the booth on the mic with me tonight, a man that once graced this field as a quarterback, father of 3, head coach in waiting of the 5th and 6th grade Canton-Galva Eagles. Talking about the one, the only Mr. Travis Regier.
Good evening.
Well, it's rained all day. We've got about 1.5 inches of rain so far today. It's been raining off and on here this evening. It's going to be kind of a wet one. We know that ball's going to be a little bit slippery. What did you do to prepare for a wet ball game?
Nothing really off the top of my head. I know it was always playing both sides of the ball. You know, you loved playing on defense because it made it that much easier to maybe force a fumble or makes it harder for the wide receivers to catch the ball or the quarterback to get rid of it. Obviously, on the flip side, playing offense, those same worries that you, or same troubles that you had on defense that you hoped you could cause, you know, they come around on your side, and you got to worry about taking a good snap from the center. You know, the transition from center to quarterback to running back, and then trying to get the ball off. And it's just, I never was a fan of playing in the rain that much. It's hard to gripe about the moisture that we've got, but on the same hand, if it could have held off another 24 hours, that would have been great in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a little bit chilly this morning for sure. Got wet doing the chores, and it really never got warmed up till we got up here in the Crow's Nest. But as a center, I didn't mind the rain. I liked playing in the rain as long as you were playing. If you're on the sideline only playing one side of the ball, cold weather night, wet weather night was not a lot of fun here. We have the coin toss, and it looks like Canton-Galva did win the toss, and they're going to take the football. So we have a pretty decent breeze here out of the north, so Hanover will kick into the wind to get this thing kicked off and started. Canton-Galva, of course, is undefeated. Some polls have them ranked number 1. Some polls have them ranked number 2. Frankly, I believe they should be ranked number 2. Axtell hasn't been beaten. They're the reigning state champions, and in my mind, you're there until you get knocked off. So this Hanover team, a perennial powerhouse in 8-man football. Again, as I said earlier, off to a little bit of a slow start. Guessing they're pretty young. Had some tough competition right off the bat, but have been on a roll of late, and we are about to get underway. Now, we're going to preface this before we get to kickoff. We're both Canton-Galva alumni. This is a Canton-Galva broadcast. We welcome each and every one of you, especially those in Hanover. We're glad to have you. If you don't like what you're hearing, technology is just absolutely marvelous. You can simply turn us down, turn us off with the mute button as we are about to get underway. These unis Canton-Galva is trotting out here. The red ones are not the easiest to see. Of course, Canton-Galva in the all red. Hanover with the white tops, blue bottoms. Looks like McManus and Mastery are back to receive for the Eagles. And we will get this baby kicked off. Of course, I said blue bottoms. Looks like they're gray. Gray bottoms, white and blue trim kicking us off here. Got a lot of air under this one. It's going to be returnable here. Ball is on the ground right off the bat.
Be taken by Mastery at the 10. Breaks, slips, tackle.
Mastery has a slippery way about him, and he gets it all the way out to the 30 on a kind of a poor play picking the ball up, but then able to break some tackles as we saw him do all last Friday night as well. Young man had himself a game.
Yeah, I've got to think the elements may have had something to do with that. Bobbled the kickoff at the 10. Had about 2 or 3 broken tackles there, or spun out of tackles there. I got to think that the weather had something to do with that possibly on both ends.
Garrett Maltby at the quarterback, Ryder Nordstrom to his right. Wide receiver right and left for the Eagles. Fake to Nordstrom. We're going to air it out. Nobody home as Maltby got stuck as he threw it, something that we did not see last Friday night. Garrett never hit the carpet, and right off the bat, either a blown route or he just airmailed that one out as he saw the defender coming right up the middle.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a little miscommunication on there. Kaysen come out there, maybe have a talk with the coach and go over what happened there.
Maltby now under center, something that we have seen a little bit but not very familiar for the Canton-Galva offense. McManus there with the carry right up the middle. He's going to pick up 11. That's going to move the sticks. We'll try to bring you the Hanover tacklers as they come to us. Our spotter got kicked out tonight as we have a packed house up here in the Crow's Nest because it's warm up here. Everybody wants to be up here, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, something about 30 degrees, the wind blowing, and it raining seems to bring people out of the woodwork to come up here in the box.
Maltby with the keep. Going to try to go up the middle. And he's got a lane. He's going to get to the right side. He is going to get to the end zone. Garrett Maltby was kind of stuffed up in the middle, found himself a lane around the right side as we have an injured Hanover player. That's number 34. Patrick Cook is a little shaken up and over to the sideline. We'll try the extra point for Canton-Galva. Of course, very limited kicking at the 8-man level. We're going to go trips to the right. Mastery was in motion. We have movement and flags down. That'll be a false start against the Eagles. Make it an 8-yard extra point try instead of 3. This has been an Achilles heel of Canton-Galva's over the years, but of late, they've looked pretty good. I don't know what the percentage is, but probably in the 70% range converting on the 2-point conversions.
Yeah, here of late we have been very successful. I know that's one point that Coach Hoppus and the coaches really wanted to make to capitalize. Once we get the 6, we want to go ahead and make sure we get the 2 as well.
Going to be a lead and well defended there. That is number 2, I think. I think that was Cameron Juneman who was there. Very well defended.
Yeah, I can't help but think there that we may have had a little miscommunication, misread something on there. That's not very typical of our 2-point conversions. But kind of like you talked earlier, Trevin, going through here and looking at the past 8-man state championship games, I mean, you want to talk about being littered with Hanover, 2020 state champion, 2018 state champion, 2017 state champion, 2016 state champion. They lost it in 15. I mean, they definitely have the history, especially as of late. Maybe a little bit of a off year this year, but definitely they know what it's about to make it down to Newton.
Yeah, and as you look across here, quite a few sophomores on this team, you know, just a handful of seniors. Talk about that history. You know, Canton-Galva's got one on their roster, just a freshman in number 40, Camden Cruzy. Of course, he comes from Hanover lineage. Not so sure if his father doesn't have one of those rings that says state championship on it or not. We never have had those conversations, but I'm pretty sure that they at least competed for it. As Collins sets the kick, the left-footed kicker for Canton-Galva into this wind. Gets all of it, though. It's going to hang up there. Number 12.
Fielded by number 12. He's going to be brought down at the 30 of the Wildcats.
Yeah, Chase Bruno with that nice return all the way to the 30, brought down by Lane McManus. So 30-yard line starting position for both teams here to get this game kicked off. We'll see what Canton-Galva defense can do. As Nordstrom appears to be starting at the Mike linebacker, and that puts number 24, Nick Evans, down at the nose.
Kind of an interesting formation, a 2-man front with Nick almost 2 yards deep.
Yeah, in a stand-up position. You saw the quarterback, number 5, Ryken Stahlbaumer, get hit hard there on the pitch. That was T.J. Kane there with the big stick.
Yeah, that's one guy we talked about here a couple weeks ago. That, I mean, he has got the build, he has got the talent. That's definitely somebody to watch the game here tonight. Hopefully, for our sake, he can get plenty of pressure back on the quarterback.
Yeah, a young man that has the ability to play on Saturdays. Again with the option look, and it's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Cleaning it up is going to be T.J. Kane. Bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats. Well, this is a defense that we have not seen ever by this Hoppus and O'Connor combination. A 2-man down lineman front. Nick Evans, who's been playing Mike linebacker with the injured Nordstrom out. Nick able to play that nose, but he's in a stand-up position here.
Going to go empty backfield, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Motion coming across to the right side.
Kane with a paw up, might have kind of, didn't get a deflection, but sure got in the passing route. That pass was intended for Chase Bruna. Vincent in on the coverage for the Eagles. 4th down and 4 from the 36. What do you do here if you're coaching?
I think you got to go ahead and punt it. I mean, you turn the ball over here on downs, give it back to the Eagles on your side of the field. I mean, as explosive as the offense has been in the past and first series, that's what I would do, but looks like we're going to go for it.
Long huddle there. You knew they were going to go for it. They're talking about something. They got a man in motion. That's number 12. He's going towards the line of scrimmage, and that is not legal unless you're playing for Canada. Why that's not whistled dead is beyond me. As we saw the flag come out, that shouldn't be. That should have been whistled dead.
Play should have been dead. I agree. Yeah, I got to think the 2-man front. This must have been something that Coach O'Connor thought that they could implement against the looks like the
Yeah, they let that play roll.
yeah.
That's why we're up here behind the microphones and not with the stripes.
That's right.
I thought that was a dead ball foul, illegal motion, but they called it an illegal shift. Again, what that was the man in motion went towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. And again, if you're playing in Canada in the Canadian Football League, that is legal, and that's the only place where it's legal. Not legal in 6-man, 8-man, 11-man NFL. As Pat McAfee says, the Professional American Football League. It's not legal anywhere but the Canadian Football League. The Eagles take over on downs at the 36-yard line.
I formation with Nordstrom at fullback, McManus at running back. Going to be stopped.
Yeah, stuffed by Levi Griffith after a very short gain.
Nordstrom on the carry for the Eagles. Run down by number 32.
It's like 2 yards there for Ryder.
It'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 8 for the Eagles.
Again, for the Hanover folks, that number 30, Ryder Nordstrom's a senior for Canton-Galva, multi-year starter, tailback, fullback, or linebacker, went down before the season started with a knee injury, able to battle through it. Probably it's going to require surgery. The young man's a gamer and a heck of a football player, captain of this football team. Good to see him out there.
Yeah, he's got a ton of heart.
Maltby with the keep.
Maltby on the keeper for the Eagles.
He's going to have a 1st down.
15 yards on the play. Good for an Eagles.
Well, that's too far for me to see who the tackler was for Hanover.
Yeah, about taken down there in the backfield, just slipped past him to gain about another 10 yards or so.
Nice patient running by Maltby. Again, the offensive line for Canton-Galva has been stellar as of late. Let a man come free on that first play, that pass play, hit Maltby right in the chest. See where we go here as Mastery is out to the left. McManus to the right of Maltby. We're throwing it to Mastery. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to lower his shoulder and scamper into the end zone. He was hunting contact right there, Travis.
Yeah, he wanted to evade the first guy and bowl the second guy over, casing in for 6. So let's see if we can't get a punch 2-point conversion in here. Seemed like last series kind of shot ourselves in the foot with the false start. Let's see if we can't punch it in from 3 out.
Case and Mastery, of course, a senior. Send the man in the backfield in motion. Maltby's going to keep and run right up the middle. He's going to have the conversion. Talk a little bit more about Case and Mastery. You know, he played wide receiver behind the record setter, Tyson Struber, who's now up at K-State, who graduated last year, but spent his career, helped Tyson have the ability to go set that record, because if they doubled, especially in 8-man football, pay too much attention to one man. Kaysen was open, has great hands. He's fast. You know, if he plays on probably any other team other than behind Tyson Struber, he'd be getting a lot of accolades out there. Just kind of one of those things that happens in 8-man football. The yards can only go to so many people, and Struber was able to get more than anybody else. And so, but part of that is in part because of what Kaysen Mastery can do, and of course Garrett Maltby slinging it to him sure doesn't hurt. Bruno back to receive this kickoff again. The left-footed kick by Collins is coming. Eagles up 14-0 in the early goings of this first quarter.
Yeah, it's good to see Kaysen here as a senior get the amount of touches that he has this year. And like you say, I don't believe Tyson could have done what he done without defenses having to respect Kaysen on the other side of the ball as well.
Absolutely not. Kick coming here. Another good one into the wind. Bruno's got it. He's got something brewing right up the middle.
Here.
He is brought down at the 36. Noah Collins, the kicker, the safety man, able to bring him down.
26-yard return on there. Going to be
from their own 36.
1st and 10 from the 36.
Well, this is where their drive stalled the last possession. See what they're able to do here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, going back to our defense here, we got a 2-man front. I got to think that Coach O'Connor must have saw something in to help against the option that Hanover runs here. Last series seemed to shore it up pretty good. We'll see what happens here.
Just 3 down offensive linemen for Hanover here. Pass coming. Good protection.
Ball up.
Incomplete. That's something dangerous to do, is to throw against this Canton-Galva defense, as they hold the record for pickoffs returned 4 touchdowns as a team, as well as Jet Vincent singly, that's a word that I need to learn how to say, singularly holds as well. But a pretty good looking ball there.
Yeah, it was. That's definitely made us hold our breath up here in the press box. I mean, you've got 3 down linemen on offense, 2 down linemen on defense. Definitely giving the quarterback plenty of time to pass.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball is on the ground.
Canton-Galva, it's still on the ground. There's still a scrum for it. The stripes say Canton-Galva has it. Lane McManus with the recovery. Was it weather or was it pressure? I'm going to call that one pressure. Eagles blew through that offensive line.
I think it may have been a little bit of pressure. Yeah, like I say, it's for having 2 down linemen, the way that they're picking up the option there. I mean, it's
Eagles football, 1st and 10 from the
either you get stopped pitching the ball, or you keep the ball and get stopped there. I mean, well played by the Eagle defense.
Yeah, very well played. Pitch man was covered. Quarterback was covered. Ball's wet. Ball's on the ground. Took a while for it to be recovered on the ground, as the Eagles said they had it, and then you saw a man jump on the ball. Looks like Ryder Nordstrom kind of at the fullback spot. Call this a pistol formation. The give's going to be to Nordstrom. He lowers his shoulder, keeps his feet.
Nordstrom on a carry for the Eagles.
Going to be brought down by number 5. That's Reichen Stahlbaumer.
Going to be taken down at about the 10.
4 yards on the play. Good for an Eagles.
And if you're Hanover, you're kind of wondering where the flag was. There was a block that could have been called a block in the back. It was in the scrum. Was it within the tackle box? 2 line? No. Downfield a little bit. So if you're the Hanover faithful saying, man, I saw that. As it is, the people that have the yellow things in their pockets didn't see it. Sometimes the calls go your way.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. It definitely looked like a penalty from up here at the press box, but unfortunately when the referees don't call it,
Maltby
what it
is going to be tackled at the 1 yard line.
I think it's a little deeper than that. I'm going to call it about
Maltby on the keeper.
3, it appears, 4 maybe.
Bring up 2nd and short for the Eagles.
But on that run with Ryder, I mean, he, like we talked earlier, missed a pretty good portion of his senior season with the knee injury. But you want to talk about a guy who's going to make up for some lost time. I mean, we saw it there, lowering the shoulder, lowering the boom. I mean, he's definitely not going to be one that shies away from any contact, and he's definitely wanting to take advantage of the time that he does have.
He's to the right of Maltby. The give is going to be to Ryder. The bowling ball is going to go right on in. Young man loves contact. 5th and 6th grade on up. He's always wanted to hit something, hit somebody, and he is in the end zone. And the early on going with the 2-point conversion pending is 20-0 off the turnover by Hanover.
Yeah, Ryder's one of those kids that you look at him and you think, maybe as he's younger that, he's a little undersized possibly to be playing the position that he is, but thank goodness.
Movement again here. This one, I believe, is going to be on Hanover.
Encroachment is the call against.
That's correct.
Nordstrom's heart is, unmeasurable.
Retry.
That's right. Don't tell Deuce Vaughn or Darren Sproles that you can't be in all everything, being a little shorter than everybody else. It's all about heart and try, and Nordstrom's got plenty of it. Going to go with the little Nick, Vic, and Thick package. That's from way back. Lane McManus is going to go in behind the block of Collins.
Is good. With 7:10 left to go in the first, it's your Eagles 22 and the Wildcats 0.
So not something that the Hanover faithful are used to seeing, as you brought up your phone and looked at the records. And as I have mentioned multiple times, a perennial powerhouse. Trail 22-0. 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. One of the things that I have noticed here, at least on the defensive side for Hanover, they don't appear to be craving contact quite as much as Canton-Galva's offense does. A little bit, as you might say, on skates, going backpedaling instead of running through guys. On the offensive side, that's not the case. Number 12, Chase Bruna, as he's going to set to get this kickoff. You watch him receive this. He's going to look for somebody to run over and get up the middle. It's been pretty impressive so far to watch him. And on the offensive side, they've been that nice pass that the quarterback had. He had time to throw it, just fell incomplete. Kind of have to wonder if they're going to abandon this option look and go to the air if they're going to try to battle back into this one.
Noah Collins set to kick for the Eagles, back deep for the Wildcats. Number 12, Chase Bruna.
Well, there's a lot going on up in this press box, so we apologize for the dead air. ESPN hasn't called wanting us to come call any games, so Collins to kick to Bruna. Bruna's got it. Again, running right up the middle. It's going to be tripped up and then smacked. That's about got to be number 25, TJ Kane. We don't have his number, but I can guarantee you, which makes me continue to say that young man needs to play on Saturday.
I would totally agree.
He's an athlete. I know Coach O'Connor's excited to have him on the basketball side of things. But a lot of unfinished business yet on this beautiful green field here tonight. Twins to the right. One wide receiver to the left. Bruna in motion. Going to air it out into the flats. Nice pickup there. It's 25, I believe. I believe that is going to be Brigham Bruna.
Ran out of bounds by number 3, Lane McManus.
Yeah, pushed out by Lane McManus at about the 36, so we're going to call it second and 3.5.
To bring up second and 3 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, you talked about how physical the Eagles are. That definitely, the weather, the rain, and everything. It's a little bit harder to juke and to make some moves the way that the weather is now. But so maybe this could be a little benefit for the Eagles, being a little more physical.
Going to the air once again. This time with pressure and hit as he throws it, disrupting that. Kane in on the pressure for the Eagles.
It'll bring up third down for the Wildcats.
That pass was definitely disrupted by the hit there put on by TJ Kane. Good to see the Eagles be able to get some pressure on this Hanover Wildcats offense. Can't just let him sit back there and pitch it all over as the rain's coming down a little bit heavier now. Taking their time in the huddle. Don't know if they're dialing up a special play. Got Twins to the right. Ball is going to be intercepted. Ball is tipped and then picked off by T.J. Kane. We don't get a chance to talk about him on the offensive side near as much as we should. He plays tight end for Canton-Galva. 8-man football doesn't get utilized that much, but the tip drill was in play right there, and great hands does number 25 have, able to corral that football, and another turnover here created by the Canton-Galva Eagles defense.
Yeah, TJ may not get near as many touches at the tight end spot as he may like, or as someone else may possibly an 11-man. But when he does, he definitely takes advantage of it. Obviously, has soft hands there, as shown on defense with the interception.
Maltby to throw, tries to find TJ. Just a little bit out there in front.
Yeah, I had a feeling after the interception, Coach Hoppus was going to try to get him the ball on offense there, and tried and was unsuccessful, unfortunately. So going to be 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from the 22, call it, with 6:46 to go in the first quarter.
Jory Ratzliff into the football game for the Eagles. Looks like he's lined up at right guard. Maltby's going to be corralled in the backfield, hit first by number 3, Josh Zabernicki.
3 and 32 look like on the play.
Yeah, they chased down. They followed the trap block, and Maltby. I don't know if that was a fake, a counter, or what was going on there. As the trap was going right, and Maltby pulled it and was trying to come back left. We'll call it great defensive play by the Wildcats. Going to have movement here. It's going to give them 5 yards, give the Eagles 5 yards. Make it 3rd and 9 probably.
Yeah, I think Zabernicki there was a little amped up. I mean, he got the tackle on the previous play and just little antsy on that one there, looked like. Going to be a give to McManus up the middle, squirting through 4. He's going to fight his way.
Carrying, fellas.
To about the 5-yard line.
McManus on the hard run for the Eagles. 22 yards on the play. Good
and the Eagle faithful expect to see that kind of a run out of Mr. Nordstrom. McManus, a little lankier type of an individual, but running hard there, lowers his pads, taking defenders with him.
Yeah, I would like to say they kind of complement each other. You got a little thunder and lightning. Ryder bringing the boom, and Lane.
Ryder's going to get the call here. We're going to have a little rugby scrum. He squirts out of the back of the pile. They're not able to get him to the ground, but finally blowing the whistle to stop the play. Because it was 16 men around the football.
But no, like I was saying, with Ryder, he's definitely going to run downhill and try to punish you. And Lane, although he can do that every now and then, he likes to get to the outside and show off his speed a little bit more.
Yeah, but when called upon to hit somebody, there we go, just quarterback sneak. It's going to be in for the touchdown. McManus has been very impressive as he's got the starting role right off of the bat here to open the season at the tailback spot, and really has been impressive with running behind his pads, more so than what his body frame would show.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think he's really seemed to have turned it on here the last couple games on defense, definitely getting his number called a lot more, making tackles, fumble recoveries, that sort of thing too. So showing up on both sides of the ball.
Football's on the ground. It's a 2-point conversion. Doesn't really matter all that much. It's going to be a failed attempt here.
The two-point conversion fails for the Eagles, but with 5:01 left to go in the first, it's your Eagles 28 and the Wildcats 0.
We'll bring you an update here. We don't have a sideline reporter, but number 25 for the Wildcats, Brigham Bruna, is headed back to the locker room early. Looked to be favoring his right shoulder a little bit. So, of course, I'm not a doctor. We're just up here in the crow's nest. We don't know anything about much, but we can report that he was headed to the locker room early. That's 25, Brigham Bruna. Hopefully that young man is all right. Just go get it taped up, go get it looked at, be back in this contest.
The junior senior high music department will be presenting the Last Oz story on Saturday, November 12th.
Well, again, we're going to kick into the wind is Mr. Collins. But the Wildcats have had great field position to start, probably averaging at the 30. Good kicks by Collins, but into this wind, kind of more of a line drive to get it down there that far. Wonder if the coaches haven't told him, hey, maybe put this one on the ground. Bruna just looks to me like he's about to pop one.
Yeah, he's definitely come close the last few kickoffs here. I mean, 1 or 2 tackles away from breaking one for a touchdown.
Yeah, Collins tackled him. Of course, he's the last man of defense on a kickoff return. He tackled him once, but he goes, puts a little sideline to it, picked up at the 10. Blocking the back's not going to be called, and he's going to be tracked down at the 31 or 2, and that's T.J. Kane with the tackle.
Shoved out of bounds by 25, T.J. Kane.
We announced that we've got chili, lots of chili, hot dogs at the concession stand. Thanks. Cinnamon rolls.
Hey, if you're watching from the YouTube in your car, feel free. If you're here at the stadium and going to want to get warmed up, if you're in the car but watching or listening to us, go over and support the concession stand as they've got chili. Hot dogs from Joe Allen at the Canton Lockers. Wide receivers right and left for the Wildcats. One man in the backfield beside the quarterback. Going to go to the pass. Spin move by T.J. Kane. Oh, just off of the hands. That's number 12, Chase Bruna, unable to corral that one. The footwork by T.J. Kane there with the spin, but pretty good offensive line work here by the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're definitely giving the quarterback plenty of time there. Obviously, with the 2-man front on defense, usually the 3-down linemen on offense, they seem to definitely be holding their own, though.
Absolutely. And this right guard I can't even get his number, but he's not a big fella, but doing really good work. Twins to the left. Cut block there by that right guard. Oh, TJ's unable to get him. Still working, though, are the Eagles, and they're going to close, and that's going to be a quarterback sack.
Stallbummer on the carry, brought down by number 30.
Ryder Nordstrom from his middle linebacker spot comes up and gets, never mind, it's not going to be a quarterback sack. They're going to give him a yard. Going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Ryder coming from the middle linebacker. I believe it was T.J. Kane had pressure on the quarterback in the backfield, seemed to squirt past him, and Ryder comes up to make the tackle with Hanover gaining a single yard here. So going to be 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats.
This right guard for Hanover has a formidable task in front of him right there. That last play, he just went to the cut block. TJ able to keep his feet. Pressure put on. It's going to be intercept. Not so much. Not so much. Number 4, Jet Vincent. His career says he picks that. Unable to. Frankly, you got to give kudos to the Hanover offensive wide receiver there for breaking that up, as Vincent had the radar locked in on that football.
Yeah, Lane McManus in there on the play as well.
Yeah, McManus with good coverage. A pretty good route. Again, a good football play all the way around. It's going to be 4th down and 9. Hanover, you expect to go for it here. Twins to the right. One man in the backfield. That's going to be a false start. That's going to be on the number 2, Cameron Juneman, the far right wide receiver.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, he knows he's got his work cut out for him. Fourth and 8 on that play. Maybe wanting to get a little bit of a head start and just.
Well, he's looking in at the football, and Collins over here, number 22, flinched, but you can do that on the defensive side. I think created the wide receiver to flinch as well, which is not legal.
I was looking to see if the ref started the clock, but I didn't see him start it.
Going to have a quick kick here. It's going to take a Hanover roll. It's going to go all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Stolhofer does punt the ball for the Wildcats. It's down at the Eagle 25.
Did you ever have a quick kick?
Never did, no. I mean, I agree with that call there. You know, 4th and 8, you maybe go for it. 4th and 13, backed up in your own side of the field. I mean,
it's Eagles football, 1st and 10 from their own.
I think that's a play you got to call.
Yeah, and it shows the respect they have for Canton-Galva's speed with the quick kick there and not wanting to return. Give is going to be to the tailback. That's McManus. He's trying to get to the left side, and he does. Talk about the speed for the Canton-Galva Eagles. It's on display. He is going to go all the way for a Canton-Galva touchdown. There's the lightning part of the Thunder and Lightning. Lane McManus, the calf roper, is in for the 6 points for Canton-Galva.
Yeah, like we're talking up here in the box for having a bum knee at the fullback position. Ryder coming through, opening the hole for Lane. Lane squirting past him, and Ryder, by the time Lane made it to the end zone, about caught up with him.
Yeah, Lane was very close to that out-of-bounds line, but able to stay in bounds and scamper in for 6 points. Going to go to the air for the 2-point conversion. And T.J. Kane, the sure-handed man that we brag about so much, drops that one. We're going to blame that one on the weather. I think raindrop hit him right square in the eyeball. Can't blame him there.
You know, that's one of those things you talk a kid up and talk a kid up and talk a kid up, get a bunch of eyes on him, and you do nothing but set him up for failure. So
there is such a thing as the announcer jinx. Well, we got a minute here. Let's talk about the junior, number 3, Lane McManus, currently sitting top 3 in the state of Kansas in the calf roping division for the High School Rodeo Association. It's a young man with multi-talents, runs the 100 quite well.
Yeah, he's 300-meter hurdles as well, and track.
That drawing is happening tonight. My notes here say the pot is about 600, but I've heard it's quite a bit higher, probably closer to 1,000 by now. So someone's walking home with $500 tonight. Be sure to find those kids and support them. You know,
you talk a lot about the extracurricular activities that a lot of the kids are in. Lane and calf roping. I know, I believe it's Ryder, Garrett. There's a handful of them that you may have heard over the PA system here that are trying to raise money to go out to Denver for the National Robotics Meet. So, I mean, quite a few well-rounded kids here at Canton-Galva.
Bruno having trouble picking that kickoff up. We do have a flag here that probably looks like a hold.
Bruno on the return, shoved out of bounds.
Yeah, Jory Ratzlaff part of that team. Maltby's part of that team. That's a huge deal as they qualified against the whole state. Top 4 make it to nationals in Denver. As we try to figure out what the flag is.
Oh, no. No, I guess not.
It's going to be a hold on the Wildcats.
Yeah, that'll back them up.
From the spot of the foul, and it'll be Wildcat football.
Yeah, a lot of these members of FFA as well. Of course, I'm sure the Hanover youngsters are the same. A lot of them probably cutting beans as soon as they get off of football practice. Involved in the FFA as Eagles remain in that 2-down lineman front, defensive front. Going to run the option again. It's not worked very well all night as the quarterback took a shot there. Zabernicki took a shot, able to get it pitched away though. That shot was delivered by Wyatt Collins.
Yeah, Collins definitely with the pressure on the quarterback made him pay for it. 6-yard gain on the play, though, for the Wildcats. So,
Yeah, nice play.
definitely moving in the right direction for them.
Yeah, they needed that. And this offense has had a couple turnovers. And we had a penalty there with a quick kick on this last possession, or that led to the quick kick. Going to go twins to the left, one wide receiver to the right. Little confusion in the backfield. Now we're going to go 2 wide receivers to the right. Nobody in the backfield beside Zabernicki. He's going to run the draw right up the middle. He's going to get hit and pick up a couple yards, though. He's going to get it to the 20. Might even get a first down here. Looks like they're marking him at the 19. I think he's got to get to the 20.
Gave him 1 yard, so we're going to go.
Yeah, try to spread the field out there, 2 wide receivers to each side, and try to see if you can't get something going up the middle there.
Yeah, and for head coach Hanover, you know, that's exactly what I would do. 2 down linemen, run it right up the middle. You know, looks like we have a very undersized middle linebacker in Evans, and he is undersized, but pound for pound, the strongest man on the field. Option here. Going to be brought down in the backfield. Ball is out.
Going to be recovered by the Wildcats, though, at about almost the original line of scrimmage, it appears.
Yeah, so a big loss here will bring up 4th down, and let's call it 6. 4th and 6. What do you do here? You're down 34-0, 132 in the first quarter. Win or go home. Like, you about have to go for it, don't you?
I think so.
If you get it here, you get some Papa Mo on your side. If you don't have Papa Mo right now anyway.
Yeah, you got to try to get something going in your favor for sure.
And we were wrong again. And a beauty with the wind behind him. He's going to get it all the way down to about the 20 or 32, 33-yard line.
Stallbomber's punt goes out of bounds at the Eagle 33. It's Eagle
So Reichen Stallbomber with 2 quick kicks. Oh boy, they're raising some money for the team going to the. As we hear the mayor in the background wanting to buy tickets because the pot is close to $1,300, I think. So that's a great deal. We appreciate if you bought tickets. We appreciate you buying tickets for the robotics team. Wide receivers right and left. We're going to go quarterback keep up the middle. It's going to pick up 7. Hit first by number 1, Noah Juneman.
Brought down by number 3, Zabernicki for the Wildcats.
Maybe that was
Bring up 2nd down for the Eagles. 2nd
Zabernicki, Josh Zabernicki, number 3.
Yeah, I on that play there, Levi Griffith had a job that no man out here would like to take. I think that was pretty much the lead block from Wyatt Collins head on and ended up in the pancake block.
Yeah, the old 10-toe. Wyatt Collins has brought a different element to this Canton-Galva Eagles offense, something we haven't seen for years. A smash mouth look. Nobody there to pitch it to. We're going to be brought down. Number 12, that's Chase Bruna.
As you see the frustration on head coach Shelby Hoppus's just his body language there. I don't know if anybody else caught that there. Garrett tried to fake the handoff to Ryder to the left side and looked to pitch it to Lane, and
Lane wasn't there.
Busted play. So I don't know exactly whose fault it was on that. I'm assuming that was Lane's fault. But as you can see, Coach Hoppus was definitely not pleased with how that was executed.
No, whether that was Maltby doing his best Patrick Mahomes impression, trying to fake him out and get a step, or whether McManus ran the wrong way, I'm going to guess that, as you said, McManus probably went the wrong way by the reaction by Coach Hoppus. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 2 when play resumes. The Eagles will now have the wind at their back. They lead 34-0 in this win or go home contest. Hanover, while they don't have hardly any yards yet, you know, their offensive line has done some really good things in their pass protection. Their option is not working. It's worked a few times, but if you factor in the turnovers that have been created off of the option, you'd have to say it's not working at all. now they have the wind, which has picked up. The rain has subsided some. In fact, I'm going to say that it's not raining at the moment. Have to think that they're going to try to air it out, get back in this contest. Garrett Maltby all the way here. Runs out of bounds.
On the keeper for the Eagles, 17 yards.
Appears to be the 24-yard line of the Wildcats.
Aiden Olgan in on the tackler for the Wildcats. Going to be 1st and 10 from the 24 for the Eagles.
1st and 10 for the Eagles.
Jory Ratzlaff in for Canton-Galva. Maltby's going to go under center again.
Going to be a give to McManus on the left-hand side, squirting through for a gain of about 3 yards.
McManus on the carry, brought down by number 3, Zarbanicki.
Zarbanicki in on the tackle for Hanover.
Bring up 2nd down for the Eagles.
Yeah, speaking of the Wildcats offense, I think, sooner or later, they are extremely close to breaking a big play, I'm afraid. Just see if the Eagle defense can try to prevent that.
Yeah, they're too good of a football team not to. Again, Maltby under center. Nordstrom in the backfield behind him. Fake. Tight end is wide open, and this time he catches it. T.J. Kane all the way down to the goal line.
20 yards on the play.
I can't help but think, but Garrett knew that maybe he had thrown the last couple balls his way. May not have been the best passes of Garrett's career. You got to think that he was definitely trying to get him a touchdown there.
Yeah, and kudos again to Hanover for not giving up on that play. Able to bring him down at the 4-yard line. Under center again is Maltby. Ryder at the fullback, McManus tailback. Give is going to be to McManus, and he is going to use part of that thunder. This is what we were talking about, an element of that man's game that I don't mean to sound negative about it, but just in looking at his stature, you know he's tough. He's a rodeo competitor, so you know he's tough. But just looking at his stature, you don't know that maybe he's got that in his game, and obviously he does, as he ran very hard, very tough, right across the goal line for 6 more points for Canton-Galva.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking Lane Stanton, 5'11", 143. Definitely not the build that you would like to have in a guy that is trying to punish the ball or punch the ball in the end zone.
Going to fake it here. Number 3, Zabernicki is able to bring Maltby down in the backfield, and that conversion failed.
Hear a little frustration on the home coaching box here. Definitely thought that we should have gave the ball there to Lane and possibly could have squeezed in for another 2.
You've heard that frustrated voice before.
Time or two. I was, in my high school career, Shelby, Coach Hoppa's head coach, was a year older than me. He definitely voiced his displeasure with me a time or two, and maybe I wasn't looking his way when he was open. And definitely his older brother Zach up here, I know, had taught my brother quite a bit as he was his head coach, and that's definitely you hear Zach voicing his displeasure.
I used to hear that from him. If he got sacked, we heard about it in the huddle in a gruff manner.
Back deep for the Wildcats, number 12, Chase Bruna.
We'll see what the Eagles can do with the wind at their back with this kickoff. Again, Bruna has looked very good in these kickoff returns, coming close to breaking some, going right up the middle. So I don't know if they saw something in the film. Most of the times you have a return right or return left put on, but Hanover has been return middle basically every kickoff. Collins kicks it over to the right side, and it's going to go out of the end zone for a touchback, and that is huge in 8-man football as the ball's going to be placed at the 15-yard line.
I kind of got to think maybe there that Coach Hoppa's maybe told them, hey, let's kick it to one side of the field, make them forced them to shorten up the field a little bit, and worked out for us. Bobbled about the 3-yard line and into the end zone. So like you say, going to be placed at the 15-yard line.
So the wind is a factor. It's picked up here. The flag is pretty well stiff straight out off of the flagpole. So it is going to make it that much more difficult for Hanover to throw the football. The running game hasn't worked very well. When it has worked, it's been followed up by a turnover. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now man in motion. A low snap handled well by Zabernicki. He throws it. It's going to be caught, making a man miss. That's number 2, Cameron Juneman, right at the sticks. Looks like Vincent brings him down, but he's going to pick up 11. So we have a first down for Hanover. And just like we were talking about, probably going to have to go to the air. This 2-man front for Canton-Galva might have to get changed up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the Wildcats have some time back there, giving their quarterback some time. It makes it real hard on the cornerbacks to stick with your man for that amount of time to try to prevent them from catching the ball.
This is a very wide football field as Bruna goes in motion. Zabernicki to throw. It's going to be hit as he throws. Ball is going to be going to be dropped, just deflected. It looks like Nordstrom just by the build. Ryder Nordstrom out there in coverage.
Stahlbommer's pass is incomplete. It'll bring up second
Stahlbommer
down.
didn't have as clean a pocket there. Still had time, but a man did get to him.
You know, it kind of almost looked like he ran into pressure a little bit himself, or on that play. I think if he'd have just stayed back there and let the pocket form around him, he kind of crowded to the right side of the field, right side of the pocket, and kind of ran into a little bit of pressure.
Second down and 10 from the 26-yard line for Hanover Wildcats. They trail in this contest. They got a little something brewing here. Bruna in motion once again. This one's going to be picked off. That's got to be Jet Vincent, and I'm telling you, folks, he's going to get into the end zone. He's done it all of his career in high school. He set the record for, we do have a flag on the field.
Unfortunately, I think we may have had a block in the back on the return, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's a man down, and if that's where it happened.
No, this would have been, so with man's down on the far side of the field, okay. The block in the back was here on the near side.
See, if it happened over there, then there was going to be stairs and push-ups and whatever. That was away from the play. Coach Hoppus won't stand for anything like that. As we do have.
Griffith is up on his feet.
That was Griffith that was down.
It'll be a purse. No, excuse me.
I think they're going to call that a comeback block.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a blindside block, comeback block, whatever. I don't know the official crackback block. I don't. They used to have a deal up here that told us should be a personal foul, so that'll be a 15-yarder. So that takes Jet Vincent's return for a touchdown off. Doesn't take the interception off off the board for him.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, the way that the rules have changed over the past couple of years, you know, back 10, 15 years ago, that was not a flag. That was a pat on the back from the head coach and an attaboy from everybody else on the team. But unfortunately here the past couple of years, they've, for the safety of the players, have implemented that as a illegal block. So
going to have a delay a game against Canton-Galva. Kind of a quick one after a penalty.
Yeah, I would agree. That's something that definitely doesn't happen very often with the no huddle offense for the Eagles. But nonetheless, going to be 1st and 15 from the 37, it appears. It is good to hear Jet Vincent's name called out, though. The last couple games has been hasn't seen the field a whole lot. Was kind of got some injuries, unfortunately, but good to see Jet out there.
Kason Mastery on the reception there. Yeah, he was in street clothes 2 games ago and then didn't play last game. Available if needed. Wasn't needed. Getting him healed up. So we have 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, it's one of those things, unfortunately, in the 8-man level with the number of kids that go out. I mean, you have one or two one or two guys that end up dinged up, a little hurt or something like that, and that can totally change the whole look of the football team.
Passing again is Canton-Galva. This one's to Mastery. Makes a man miss. Again, he was hunting contact.
Maltby's pass to Mastery is
Yeah, he runs like he's got a little chip on his shoulder.
Good for an Eagles.
You know, we talked about McManus not having the frame. Neither does Mastery to be the Thunder. You know, a kid that you think is really going to lower the boom. Both of these guys run behind their pads extremely well. Yards after catch for Mastery are racking up in his career. Hard to bring down. Given a lot of cushion are they over there on the left side to him. Give is going to be right up the middle. Ryder Nordstrom lowers his shoulder.
Going to break one tackle, get brought down about the 7-yard line, it appears. Got to give kudos there to Case and Mastery on the stock block wide out on the left-hand side of the field as well.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about the big fellas up front, but we better talk about those guys leading the way. The blocking has been outstanding. The first pass play of the game was not. I don't know if that was a assignment failure or what, as Maltby got hit as he threw it. But beyond that, clean pocket, great blocking on the runs. Big fella's doing good work. And we have a trap block here going the other way. Able to get into the end zone is Lane McManus.
Stretch the ball out, knock the pylon over for the touchdown. Good play call there. Was read fairly well by Hanover. Unfortunately for them, though, Lane squirts in for a touchdown.
Young man is having himself a game.
Yeah, he's, like I say, this second half of the season, he's definitely poured it on, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but defense as well.
Canton-Galva has hit that 45-point mark. So for the 2-point conversion coming here, running an option, Maltby's going to keep it and get in. So it's going to be 48-0. So if nothing else happens, this one will be over at the half. But if you're Hanover, hey, you still got plenty of time to get back in this, baby. See what you can't get going here.
You know, I think on that play, looked like Garrett maybe had got rid of a little frustration the past couple 2-point conversions that they'd failed on. Running motion to the left and an option run to the right, and I don't think there was any chance that he was going to give that ball up. He was going to get it in one way or the other.
Yeah, you could tell he had a mission that was to go hit somebody and get it into the end zone. Well, we'd be remiss if we wouldn't thank our friends at HCI, Home Communications Incorporated out of Galva, for bringing us fiber up here to the Crow's Nest, out here to the stadium, helping this broadcast. Again, Canton-Galva Broadcasting. If you don't follow them on Twitter, if you don't subscribe to them on YouTube, please do so now. We would appreciate that. What they do, what this class does, is just flat awesome work out here, putting in the time, getting all the cameras set up, hitting up some donors like Ag 360 with Tony Weedle right here in Canton, helping them with their equipment. But a lot of kids in that class, and again, like I said, Saturday they volunteered their time to broadcast the little kids' games all day long. We were here quite a while. Those guys stayed hooked, so we appreciate them. And again, we appreciate HCI bringing us that fiber. Look them up, and we just simply say thank you as the kickoff is coming.
We fielded about the 3.
Right up the
Scored
middle once
I'm
again.
telling ya.
Going to have a flag here. It's going to be a hold, I'm sure.
Bruno on the return. Brought down by number 33, Noah Collins. There is a flag on the play.
Noah Collins on the tackle come up favoring his shoulder maybe a little bit.
That is because Bruno was bringing the wood.
You know, that's a heck of a way to get rid of some frustration. Maybe, you know, I'm assuming that this is probably not the norm for Hanover this year, being down
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
this amount. But I got to think, you know, he's just trying to get rid of some frustration whatever way that he can. And unfortunately, Collins paid dearly for that one.
Yeah, he took a shot. Chase Bruna, the senior, one of the lone seniors on this Wildcats team. If I'm their coach, I might just hand it off to him right up the middle. Young man is running hard on the kickoff returns. I'm going to try and throw it to him. Ball's going to be deflected. That's TJ Kane. No, excuse me, number 22, Wyatt Collins.
Stallbomber's pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Wyatt Collins.
Yeah, you know, on defense, we talked quite a bit to TJ. He's had a heck of a game so far tonight. Wyatt Collins, though, on the left end there, I mean, same build as TJ. We're talking
6'3", 194.
As a junior, so yeah, it's definitely you know, it's very similar to what TJ was last year, and you know, we've talked in games past about the weight room and the mentality that Coach Tyler O'Connor has instilled in the boys.
So we've got a blitz coming here. 4 men, only 3 to block him. He's got a man, though. That's number 3. That is Josh Zabernicki, and he's still on his feet. Josh Zabernicki is going to get into the end zone for the Hanover Wildcats.
Yeah, I had a feeling sooner or later, like I say, the amount of time that they're giving the quarterback, that makes it awful hard on the defensive backs to stay with their guy. Had a pretty good play on the ball there, shook one tackle, stiff-armed another, and scampered in for the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely there. And Canton-Galva went with a blitz, sent 4 against the 3-man line, unable to get home before the pass was out of Stallbomber's hand. And it ends up with 6 points with the 2-point conversion coming right here for the Wildcats. Tight formation. 1 man in the backfield. Quarterback under center, going to fake the pitch, looking to throw it. He's got a man wide open.
That was a well-called play. Fake the sweep to the right. You got the running back going out to the flats on the right-hand side of the ball and kind of draws everybody attention, leaves everything on the left side kind of unnoticed, and successful in a 2-point conversion there.
Yeah, Zabernicki caught that 2-point conversion uncontested. He was wide open, left alone. As you said, the defense went for the sweep, left the man on the backside wide open, and again, very limited pressure on the quarterback by that defensive front for Canton-Galva. So we'll see what Canton-Galva can't do with the kickoff return. Something that we haven't seen very many of, as this CG defense has been very stingy in giving up points. But McManus and Mastery in the back to receive this kick that is going to be into the wind.
Yeah, I've got to think that's a
as Canton-Galva is in safe, as the ball is on the ground here, is a watermelon kick. Got to get on that. It's still inbounds. There you go, covering it up. Is going to be Maltby. Heads up play there. In my high school career, we watched a guy not cover that up.
I was beginning to wonder, it's one of those plays, I mean, it's a foot from rolling out of bounds. It just died just a little shy of rolling out of bounds there. But, I mean, yeah, the watermelon kick, that's not something you don't see very often. But it's definitely something Hanover's got to try to see if they can't get things going in their direction.
It just ran off a great big play here on offense. So we got an I formation. Mastery's now going to the left of the formation. Kind of a staggered look here. Gonna throw it to Mastery. He's got a step. Oh, just over his outreached arms.
Maltby's pass to Mastery falls incomplete.
And that is why Garrett Maltby helped Tyson Struber set the state record for receiving yards. That was a beautiful pass, just a half a step in front of Mastery. Probably, if the field was faster, he's able to get there. But with the wet turf, unable to get there on that beautiful pass by Maltby that falls incomplete. Give up the middle. Ryder Nordstrom makes a man miss. Runs by another one. He's still on his feet, but he's going to be out of bounds. Whistled out of bounds at
25 yards on the play.
I think they're going to mark him at the 30. 31 maybe. Looks like the ref is going to put the ball down at the 31-yard line. 25-yard scamper there by Ryder Nordstrom.
Got to give kudos to Case and Mastery on the block again. Like we said earlier, the previous play just off the tip of his fingers. Case definitely making up for it there on the stock block at the wide receiver position.
Ryder Nordstrom route now on the right side. Mastery again with a beautiful block. Ball is fumbled out of bounds.
Nordstrom on the carry for the
Ryder
Eagles.
Nordstrom is
20
probably
yards
done
on
for the
the
day
play
as he now gets up
for
gimpy on that
Eagles.
right knee.
Kind of twisted on the tackle there. Hopefully everything ends up all right for Ryder. But no, going through the scores here, I mean, this is Hanover putting up 8 points. This is only, it appears, the 4th time all season that the Eagles have gave up a touchdown.
Give us to McManus. Stiff arms number 2, and he's still going to get him brought down. That's Cameron Juneman. Able to make the tackle there, but not before Lane McManus picks up 7, let's call it 8, 2nd and 2.
You know, we talked earlier about Lane's speed and his grit running. He has got to be one of the, I mean, for no bigger than he is, like we say, 5'11", 143. But he is just so wiry, and it's got to be frustrating to take him down because he never goes down easy.
He's in the backfield to the right of Maltby. He's going to lead block here. Maltby's going to go right into the end zone. So Canton-Galva answers that score by Hanover. But of note was Nordstrom on that tackle. Got twisted up. We know that he's got a bum right knee. Or left knee. Some knee is bum. We saw him cough up the football on the tackle. Typically that's a pain situation while you do that.
Yeah, luckily went out of bounds. I don't know if it was caused by the ground or exactly what happened. Garrett's going to punch it in from 3 yards out, though. On the touchdown, though, got to give a kudos out to Wyatt Collins with the pancake block. I mean, I don't know exactly who it was lined up across from him, but ends up with his back on the grass, staring up at the stars.
As we see the athletic trainer working on Nordstrom's right leg, so he's got the brace on his left knee. Looks like they're trying to work on his right hammy. I'm pretty sure they're going to take his helmet away from him. Let's work on that in the locker room afterwards, guys. Maybe put some icy hot on it. I don't know that they even use icy hot anymore. I'm sure there's something more sophisticated than that. But at any rate, I have to think number 30's night is over.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth having him go out there and chance, dinging the knee up again or
aggravating whatever he did to his hammy there.
Yeah.
So want to give a shout out to Dr. Brandon Trost of the chiropractor there in McPherson, Advanced Health and Wellness in McPherson. Just an outstanding person. If you got something that's ailing you, if you need put back in place, or just want to go talk to a darn good fella, go over and see Brandon Trost in McPherson. He's on the sidelines here, takes care of our athletes. Great guy.
Yeah, great supporter of the Canton-Galva communities.
Collins got the one to go, got a touchback with his last one. See what he's able to do here. Bruno runs awful hard. He's going to have a chance with this one.
Little squib going to be bounced at about the 12, picked up at the 8.
Yeah, see, he runs through 4 guys. He's still on his feet. Garrett Maltby's going to get the tackle there, but ran by 3 Eagle defenders or would-be tacklers, and then was just very hard to bring down. As Maltby's a little bit slow to get up as well. Like,
Wildcat football, 1st and 10 from their own.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen Chase Bruno with the football more in his hands. As hard as he runs, and obviously he's one of their faster guys,
Eagles.
but he's thick. He runs hard. He wants contact. Kind of a tone setter. We've seen him targeted on the receiving side of it, but we haven't seen him in a jet sweep situation. We haven't seen him really get as many touches as what he looks to me to be warranted.
Deserving of, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's see him come in motion quite often, but they just don't seem to, and maybe it's something that they're going to try on this series here, but it don't seem to have much drawn up to give him the ball on the jet sweep here.
I'm sure they'd like to get him some receptions, but again, the ball hawks of the Eagles. Canton-Galva secondary again holds the state record for interceptions returned for touchdowns. Jet Vincent holds the record for interceptions as well as interceptions returned for touchdowns. Well, we are started a little bit too early. That's Josh Zabernicki with the quick start.
Is going to be the call against the Wildcats. 5-yard penalty. Bring up 1st and 15.
So it's 1st and 15 from about the 11-yard line. Not where you want to be if you're Hanover Wildcats trying to fight your way back into this one. Twins to the right, one wide receiver to the left. Going to try to throw it to Zabernicki, and it's going to find just right on cue, and he is wide open. Chase Bruna with a blown coverage. That's going to be on Nick Evans. He's going to come over and talk to the coach, playing that middle linebacker spot now with Nordstrom on the sidelines. Not something he's done in his career very much there, and he let a man go wide open. However, credit to that defensive front for putting the pressure on and disrupting that pass.
Yeah, it seems like we've switched things up a little bit here now with the 3-man defensive front. Got Preston Minson in at the nose guard, Wyatt Collins and TJ Kane off to the ends, and like you say, Nick Evans, the pound-for-pound strongest kid on the field.
Probably to ever grace this field.
Possibly in the state, back at linebacker.
Pass coming here. Manning kind of looked in motion, clears out the middle, attacking that spot by Nick Evans. I believe that's Zabernicki with the reception. Going to get the penalty yards back.
Yeah, get on that. Quarterback there kind of gets himself in a little bit of a pickle there. I mean, he scoots up into pressure. I think he has a little bit more time if he just stays put. But like we say, when you got Minson, Kane, and Collins bearing down on you, I think that's going to make anybody want to get rid of the ball pretty quick.
Real quick, that was the first time I've ever seen a play like that. They ran a route behind the lineman. The wide receiver from the right, kind of like what it would have been in motion. However, it was after the ball was snapped. It's coming across the formation behind the line of scrimmage, behind the lineman. Not something that I've ever seen before. Not saying it's not a great thing. I've just never seen it before. As the rush is coming here, and he's going to break free. Oh, tough hit there. Delivering the blow is number 5, Riken Stahlbaumer. He's going to get a first down. McManus paid for that one.
Yeah, he kind of come clean it up. Nick Evans tried to take on the brunt of it. But yeah, like I say, Lane comes up, cleans it up. So another first down for the Wildcats.
Got him something brewing here. Again, Nick Evans, the middle linebacker. Something I'm just noticing. Is that Isa Marston over there in street clothes?
Yeah, we've got a couple Eagles out on injuries, unfortunately.
That would be why we see Joey Ratzlaff in at right guard occasionally. Big push here by the Eagles at his feet.
Not the most ideal throwing form he got there. Number 5 coming off the back foot, kind of a little jump pass there. Comes up short. I don't know. Was that Jet coming up?
That was Jet. Yeah, that was Jet coming to make the tackle. I believe that was Minson with the pressure for the Eagles. Excuse me. It's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Two wide receivers right now in motion. That's number 12. That's Chase Bruna. On the blitz, and he's going to get there. TJ Kane with the quarterback sack. 3rd and 21 from the 16-yard line for Hanover.
You know, kind of had a good thing going there to start off the series, but unfortunately, like I say, now 3rd and 21 with the wind at their face. Not a position you want to be in.
Now we'll see what Canton-Galva does. Again, they switched it up, went to that three-man front with Nordstrom on the sidelines. Two wide receivers to the right, one to the left. One man to the left of the quarterback now in motion. Stallwalmer rolls out to his right and falls incomplete. That pass was intended for Chase Bruna, but really wasn't going to do much. When you need a 21.
Yeah, I had a dead ball on that.
There
we
you
had
go.
A timeout called on Hanover.
Timeout by Hanover.
Yeah, kind of a little interesting there. Motion to the left, rolling out to the right. Trying to get something going for the Wildcats.
Wet field, wet ball. It's pretty, I'm not going to call it a stiff wind, but a stiff breeze for sure. You got a man rolling to the left, you're rolling to the right. Pretty hard, especially against this Canton-Galva defense, to throw that ball all the way across the field. Again, I would agree with you on that call, Travis. Maybe that's why the coach called timeout. So this play probably isn't going to work.
I think something was up there. Yeah, it looks like 41 degrees, 17 mile an hour breeze out of the north. Makes it a real feel of 32 degrees, unfortunately. It's
so it's warmed up, is what you're telling me.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. It's up here in the press box, we've got the heater set at 65, and it feels about like 95. So as bad as it is down there, we're sitting here pretty cozy.
Again, 3rd and 21. Minson is broke free up the middle. Ball is going to be deflected, almost intercepted. That was Nick Evans over there in coverage.
Broken up by number 24, Nick Evans.
Yeah, Wildcats there trying to spread the field out, two to the left, two to the right, try to see what they can get going.
So if you're following along at home, we're getting updates that maybe somebody bumped our camera, so we apologize for that. The score is 56-8 with 4:07 to go in this second quarter. Again, there's 4 minutes, 7 seconds on the clock, 56-8. A ball at the 16-yard line, 4th and long for Hanover. They line up to go for it. However, Canton-Galva has a man back, expecting the quick kick into the wind. And that's what they're going to do. And the ball's going to be blocked. It's going to be blocked. Can be returned here.
Up by Lane McManus, I believe. I believe the personal protector there may have possibly backed up, or just the quarterback there inched a little too far forward on the quick kick there. Goes off of the Hanover Wildcats. Looks like Lane McManus on the return for about 7 yards or so.
Big 1st and goal for the Eagles from the Wildcat 10.
So yeah, you go, kind of. Everybody knew that Hanover was going to do the quick kick, probably their only punt formation, really, typically, and it's worked well for them here. But as you said, we saw it happen in the NFL one time this season.
Yep.
Kicked it off of the hiney of the up back. Didn't work out very well for that team. Don't remember who it was. As you see, the black hat back there is already counting to 5. So the Eagles do get it off before the delay of game. They're going to give the ball. That's going to be number 22, Wyatt Collins, around the right side.
Wyatt Collins on the carry for the Eagles. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
I believe the tackler was Cole Meyer for the Wildcats. 2nd and goal.
We've got Collins
from the 2.
Like we say earlier, give him the quarterback plenty of pressure, and that is one guy you do not want to be lined up against. I mean, when he's got a 5 or 6 yard head start running downhill like that, do not envy anybody out there trying to make that tackle.
No, because he gets his shoulder pads low. So he's going to lead block here. And right on cue.
Maltby on the keeper. Touchdown.
Able to open that hole up for Garrett Maltby. So again, the rain has kind of messed with the camera here, the rain and the wind. So that puts the score at 62-8 with 3:17 on the clock and the 2-point conversion pending. Of course, the Eagles could kick it here with the wind at their back. Don't think that's going to happen.
I think we may have tried 1 or 2 when I was in high school. Of course, this is probably 20 years ago, and I do not know that there's been many that have been attempted since then.
No, as I believe last year on the broadcast, Rick Rogers, part of that state runner-up championship team back in 93.
91.
91, excuse me,
Two,
92,
excuse
yeah.
One of them
his,
three.
his class graduated in 93. He was a junior. He kicked the ball quite well before him. We saw the man, Mr. Baldwin. We, again, appreciate him and all that they do at HCI. He kicked the ball fairly well. Back in my era, we had a kid that came over from France, played soccer. He could kick it, did our kickoffs for us.
remember that.
But I don't think we ever tried to put one through the uprights. And as you said, something, especially now that it's went to 8-man, you just don't see very often. Wide receivers right and left. Maltby seems confused at the play call. Again, this is a 2-point conversion coming here for Canton-Galva. Going to throw it.
Backs to pass.
Gonna be
It's
picked
gonna be
off.
Intercepted. Got to think there's some confusion on there. I mean, coming out of a timeout like that, you come up to the line of scrimmage, and Garrett's looking back toward the sideline asking, you know, what in the world is going on. Ends up with an interception there. So definitely a busted play and some issue of frustration, I'm sure, for Coach Hoppus.
Yeah, he didn't seem all that frustrated. Again, this one, you like to see all of your plays executed well, especially if you call a timeout. But saw some injuries here, getting some personnel that you typically you don't have available for you. So they are high schoolers. You're going to get that from time to time. Something didn't go quite right. And Hanover was in the right spot and made a nice interception on the conversion. Ball's dead there. And now again, Chase Bruna is going to be back there to receive this kickoff.
Noah Collins set to kick for the Eagles.
Again, has done very well at that kickoff return. Had plenty of opportunities tonight. So he's going to rack up over 100 yards in kickoff returns is Chase Bruna. See if he can add to them here. Directional kick's going to be taken by the up back. I believe that's Brant Bikeman, and we're going to have a flag here. Clock operator, he saw it, said it's going to be a holding. But Brant Bikeman, with the return, brings it across the 30.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think he was expecting that kick. I mean, you come from the right side of the field all the way over to the left. Acted like they maybe had something drawn up, and it definitely wasn't supposed to go to him.
Yeah, we talked about that they've been return middle, return middle, return middle, and here looked like they had a return left going on.
Yeah, almost makes you think, like we say, Coach Hoppus is deciding to try to direct the kick a little bit to shorten up the field.
Yeah, stay away from Bruna.
Yeah,
just simply try to corral that young man as he runs hard with the football. Pass is going to be caught by number 2, Cameron Juneman. In on the tackle is Jet Vincent, but that is going to be an 11-yard gain.
You know, that seems to be something that seems to be working for the Wildcats. You know, you've got plenty of pressure up on the line. Safeties and cornerbacks are playing plenty deep, so kind of that 15 to 20-yard dig route there seems to be working pretty well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and the 2 interceptions on the night. Vincent picked up 1, returned it for a touchdown, but brought back by a penalty, and then a defensive end, TJ Kane, with the other one off of the deflection. So Eagles adding to their interception total for the season with another opportunity coming right here.
Rolls to the right.
Pressure.
Some pressure.
Ball is going to skip in there.
Unfortunately, going to be incomplete. But,
and taking a deep set there. As you see, he threw the ball from 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, never seems to quite get his feet set. And like I say, I think he's definitely feeling the pressure brought on by the Eagles' front line. would just like to give another shout out to Coach Kaufman and the Canton-Galva Broadcasting Group for broadcasting the game on YouTube. Keep getting hassled with a bunch of texts about we're not the only ones that are staying warm. A couple of these guys apparently are watching the game and having a little golf simulator in the house.
Well, we appreciate you watching. Give us a like.
Sounds like somebody that makes too much money, possibly.
There it is. Pass is going to be incomplete, intended for Josh Zabernicki.
Tall Lumber's pass to Zarbanicki is incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, give those guys a like. Give them a follow on the Twitter. Of course, Canton-Galva Broadcasting, pretty active on the Twitter. Canton-Galva Athletic Director Coach O'Connor, very active on the Facebook. So follow them if you're Canton-Galva supporters. Keep up to date on the social media. I believe we'll be right back here next Friday night with the call. Oh, the Lebo. So Lebo beat Frankfurt and advanced, and they will come here next Friday night if the Eagles are able to close this one out. Little play action look. Going to be brought down by several Eagle tacklers is Reichen, a stall bomber.
25, TJ Kane.
TJ Kane leading the tackle. We've said his name a lot tonight. Going to be 4th down, 14 to go.
Be 4th down and 14 for the Wildcats.
Again, the score is 62-8 with 1:54 on the clock, and the clock is running.
Like I say, make sure to go out there and give all the Facebook groups a like. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast that last weekend, Margarator Stadium did hold the championship weekend for the Central Kansas Football League. 5th and 6th grade tackle football is sponsored by Sharp Performance out of Salina, Kansas. And I believe for the day, didn't we have almost 800 views over the weekend?
Yeah, so again, we think as we're going to air it out, and the quarterback is going to fall down, they're going to be sacked there.
Definitely showing some frustration. I think he
Tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
I think he's looking to tuck it and go, and just kind of seemed to have lost his footing. And
Yeah, there were some Eagle arms in there,
Wildcat 25.
getting him tripped up. Of course, the field is wet. Again, 1:17 on the clock here as the Eagles, I believe Hanover has 2 timeouts remaining. See what the Eagles do here.
Stadium, as the rain begins to fall again, things get wet. Do be careful as you're up and down.
As you can hear Tony Weedle in the background saying the rain has began again, and it has. You can see it in the lights.
Fans, we also want to let you know,
So it appears that
for the minutes
Canton-Galva
yet to go, we plan to see you here next Friday night.
Canton-Galva has elected just to line up in the victory formation.
As we welcome the fans from Lebo, 7 o'clock right here in Margarator Stadium. We want to pack
I don't know if you can hear on the broadcast from Tony there, but next Friday, 7 o'clock, we play host to the Lebo Wolves, I believe it is.
Yeah, the Lebo Wolves over there east of Emporia. So this one is going to wind down. We'll bring the clock to you. It's at 36 seconds. So the Eagles take one more snap, and this one is going to be in the books. So congratulations to Hanover for making it this far. We know that you've got a great football team, a heck of a football program up there. Again, congratulations to Coach Hoppus.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the Hanover Wildcats losing, looks like 3 guys, some seniors. Cole Meyer, a 6 foot, 150-pound senior.
Yeah, Zabernicki.
Chase Bruna, 6'3", 160. I mean, you got to feel for those guys, but like we've talked in the past, the future for the Hanover Wildcats, I think, definitely looks up. Looks like they got a good, strong class of juniors, quite a few sophomores, and a couple freshmen sprinkled in there. So
yeah, the sophomore quarterback went the whole way. Hasn't gone.
just all about, yep.
You know, has a really nice ball. Unable to really show it off, showcase it tonight. But your regional champs, Canton-Galva Eagles, again, turnovers, shot Hanover in the foot. But you got to credit Canton-Galva for forcing said turnover. So another great game here by Hoppus and crew, giving up just their 4th touchdown.
It'd be the 4th game where they have allowed a touchdown. But no, I mean, I think that's definitely, as you see.
Of course, they're excited about that, but these fellas have one goal in mind. Coach in waiting, head coach in waiting, Travis, closing thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they've got a lot of emotion out there, definitely wanting to kind of blow off a little steam, get a little warm, but I think there's none of them that are happy with this being the last win of the season. Coming in as freshmen, I mean, they go through undefeated to a state championship game. Sophomore year, I believe, lose to Madison in the sectional. Then last year, of course, losing to Little River in the regular season, and then again in the sub-state game. So, I mean, you want to talk about over a 4-year career. I mean, you're losing, what are we talking, 3 games? I mean, definitely successful.
Yeah, very successful, guys. They're used to winning. They want to got a few more to go as everybody's paying attention to to the half and half drawing. As last time it was won by a guy right up here in the crow's nest, and if he does it again, then I guess we all know what's going to happen. But at any rate,
shake him down.
Yeah. We want to simply say thank you guys for tuning in. Come back tomorrow or next Friday right here at 7 o'clock as Canton-Galva has some unfinished business. They've got one goal in mind, and that's to make it to Newton. And that venture will continue next Friday, 7 o'clock. If you can't make it, tune in to YouTube right here on this broadcast. Share it with your friends. We appreciate you tuning in. Go Eagles.